A man finds a huge pile of gold. He was so happy that he tried to break it with his hands. But he couldn't break it. So he digs it up with his hands. But the nugget got bigger and bigger. It looked like it weighed dozens of tons. He tried to move it with all his might. But the nugget wouldn't budge. He took a closer look. There's a mountain of gold in the distance. A few days ago, Sean picked up a mysterious signal, received a mysterious signal. After studying it, all the information points to a mysterious coordinate. It's very likely that it's the legendary Elf Island. They accidentally woke up the lizard. It opened its mouth and let out an angry roar. The people were so scared that they ran away. The iguana was in hot pursuit. Soon, Sean was running out of energy and the iguana caught up with him. Luckily, Sean's body is agile. He was able to escape. When Hank saw this, Hank pulled out a burning stick to scare him off. But the iguana is not afraid. The iguana got really angry. This story tells us, don't step on things you shouldn't. Just when the people were cornered, a log came crashing down. It knocked the iguana to the ground. Then an old man appeared. Turns out he's Sean's grandfather. He was the one who sent the radio signal. That's what led them here. Grandpa took them to a magical place. Through a thick jungle. An ancient castle appeared in front of them. And this is the ruins of Atlantis, thousands of years ago. But due to crustal movement, the ground has begun to seep. It won't be long before this place is flooded. The only way to get off this island is to find Captain Nemo's submarine. According to Captain Nemo's notes, the submarine is parked on the edge of a cliff on the island. The men immediately set out for it. They crossed mountains and plains. But in the end, they were stopped by a steep cliff. To get over the mountain, Grandpa had an idea. He rode on a bee. And finally, he made it over the mountain. This story tells us, people should learn to think more about problems, to find a solution. My father went to the bottom of the mountain to dig for gold. Seeing that the island was sinking, they decided to split up. Hank and Sean will look for the submarine that left the island. The rest of them went to look for Kailani's father. But when they arrived at their destination as instructed, there was no submarine. The submarine had been submerged. They had no choice but to risk jumping in. So they tried their best to open the hatch. But since the submarine has been parked for hundreds of years, the power has run out and they can't start. Looking out the window at the electric eels, Hank had a bold idea. Just as the electric eel was about to attack, Hank drove his spear into the eel's body. On the other side, Kailani found her father and took him away with her. But by the time they got to the beach, the coast had already begun to crumble. The three of them fell into the water. Hank's submarine made it out just in time. Hank came out in his submarine and saved them. This is a story that tells us, life is more important than money. You have to give it up when you have to give it up.